नमस्कार, डेटा ट्रेनिंग मॉड्यूल में आपका स्वागत है. We are presenting you a small effort on the training module of for the data. In this module, we have covered three parts. Part 1 is about the internet and what is internet. Part 2 talks about how do we connect to internet and how do we do the settings in our mobile for the mobile internet. And part 3 is about mobile troubleshooting. As of now, this module is part 1 and part 2. So let's begin with
So, how does
what
the
is
internet work? Most of us know how to use the internet without actually understanding how it works, sort of like electricity in your home. You use it every day, but may not understand the mechanics behind it. And if the electric grid is difficult to understand, then the internet must be impossible, right? Whenever most people think of the internet, this is what comes to mind. The internet is not a bubble cloud, even in the new age of cloud computing. The whole fuzzy cloud picture was created by people more concerned about job security than education. This is the internet. The internet is a wire, actually buried in the ground. It might be fiber optics, copper, or occasionally beamed to satellites or through cell phone networks, but the internet is simply a wire. The internet is useful because two computers connected directly to this wire can communicate. A server is a special computer connected directly to the internet, and web pages are files on that server's hard drive. Every server has a unique Internet Protocol address, or IP address. Just like a postal address, IP addresses help computers find each other. But since 72.14.205.100 doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, we also give them names like Google.com, Facebook.com, or SecurityCatalyst.com. So this is how it works. Your computer at home is not a server, because it's not connected directly to the internet. Computers you and I use every day are called clients, because they're connected indirectly to the internet through an internet service provider. Here we'll pretend that this is my home laptop and I'm using DSL. Now let's pretend that I want to visit AOL.com, which is coincidentally both a server and an ISP. I hop onto my laptop with DSL, go through my ISP, onto the internet, and look at AOL.com. My computer connects with AOL.com and I can look at its web pages. Now let's say that I want to send an email to Aunt Ruth. Aunt Ruth has AOL dial-up from home, and I've got a Gmail account. I log on to gmail.com and compose a message to Aunt Ruth's email address, auntruth@aol.com. Once I click send, gmail.com sends the email to AOL.com. The next day, Aunt Ruth dials into AOL servers and retrieves the email. Whenever an email, picture, or web page travels across the internet, computers break the information into smaller pieces called packets. When information reaches its destination, the packets are reassembled in their original order to make a picture, email, web page, or tweet. Okay, so imagine you're at work sitting next to your boss, and you're both surfing online. Your boss is doing market research, and you're updating your Facebook profile. You're both sending packets back and forth over the internet. But what's to keep your packets from accidentally ending up on your boss's screen? That could be embarrassing. The solution to that problem is IP addresses and routers. Everything connected directly or indirectly to the internet has an IP address. Everything. That includes your computer, servers, cell phones, and all of the equipment in between. Anywhere two or more parts of the internet intersect, there's a piece of equipment called a router. Routers direct your packets around the internet, helping each packet get one step closer to its destination. Every time you visit a website, upwards of 10 to 15 routers may help your packets find their way to and from your computer. Imagine each packet as a piece of candy wrapped in several layers. The first layer is your computer's IP address. Your computer sends the packet to the first router, which adds its own IP address. Each time the packet reaches a new router, another layer is added until it reaches the server. Then, when the server sends back information, it creates packets with an identical wrapping. As the packet makes its way over the internet back to your computer, each router unwraps a layer to discover where to send the packet next until it reaches your computer and not your boss's.
Hi. Today we'll talk about the internet and how do we access the internet. Internet can be accessed by two ways. One is the wired, where normal the DSL wire which comes in, or the second one, it can be a wireless connection. Wireless connection is like you have the TV remotes in your hand. You don't have any wire in between the TV and your hand, but still you can change the channels. So there is a communication which happens, which is called wireless communication. Wireless internet comes into the two different modes. One is the Wi-Fi, which is normal Wi-Fi spots which you find at different part of the city or in your offices. And the second one is the internet comes to your mobile, and on your mobile again you do not have a wire and you have the internet access available on your handset, on your mobile handset which you are using. Today we will talk about in terms of how do we access the internet on our mobile and what all is required in the mobile internet connection. In a mobile internet connection, it starts with mobile internet. Now, first thing is our handset should be which supports data. Internet access is generally called the data access. 1. 2. My mobile service provider, whosoever is providing the service like Aircel, that particular service should be available. In that area. Now there are two kind of services which are these days available. One is the 2G service and another one is the 3G service, and some of the areas we also have the 4G service. Now it is like the three different generations of the mobile communications and the data communication which are there. 2G is like we had the bullock carts in olden days. So it is like you can look at bullock cart. It is slow, but it moves you faster than a normal human being can take. 3G is like a motor car which runs faster and it takes you to the destination in a much faster speed. 4G is like maybe a Airbus or maybe aircraft which takes you to the distance in much smaller time. It is much faster. So in our terms, what does the 2G, 3G and 4G means is 2G services are available in terms of this will give us, let me look at how much is the speed which comes out here. It's up to 256 kbps, and kbps is like we have the measurement of how fast the data is getting communicated is at 256 kbps. 3G generally is up to 21 mbps and 4G is anywhere up to 80 mbps. 2G 21 mbps means that to download a song, a movie song which is about of 5 minutes length, would be downloaded in less than a minute. And here in a 4G it's like a movie which is about 800 mbps for a complete movie. It does not take more than a couple of minutes. We'll talk about how do we access this. This is only the usage part of these two things. So on a mobile internet, as we discussed, there is a handset which should support the data, and then there is the internet service provider which should provide the service. Once the handset is supported by this, there are different headsets which are available which supports 2G, 3G, 4G. And how we come to know about the handset is it provides the access in terms of GSM and WCDMA, and there may be a GSM oblique WCDMA. This is the 2G mode. When we talk about GSM only, this is only the 3G mode, and this is 2G and 3G switchable mode. This means in case if the service is available in that area for 3G, this handset will not receive the signal. In case if this is the 3G mode only, 3G only. So in case if the 2G service is available but handset has been selected as WCDMA only, it will not get the 2G signal. This is the third mode where GSM oblique CDMA, WCDMA, that means it is 2G or 3G mode. So either 2G is available or 3G is available, this handset will start working. These are the three common modes which are generally available in all the handsets. When you want to use the mobile internet, that means you want to have the internet access on your handset or any other device which is connected to the handset. To do this activity, the internet has to be provided by the internet service provider, which is our service provider like Aircel. It has to be switched on my handset, and then I will start using it. To make it simple, that how does my internet works on my handset, I'll compare it with your travel. If you have to travel abroad, what do you need? You need a passport, you need a visa, which has to be approved by that country where you are going to go, and then you need to buy a ticket of a particular class, and then you go and travel to that place. So let's assume what happens in our internet access in terms of this travel. So there is a passport, there is a visa, and there are tickets. In mobile internet, the passport is internet access is configured, it has been provided, or it has been activated by the service provider, and it is switched on your mobile. So data is switched on here, and it has been also activated by the service provider. Visa is like defining APN. What is the purpose of travel is written in visa. Which access you have to take, which route you will take is the APN, and APN in general is Aircel GPRS. It does not make a difference whether you write it in capital or small letters. This Aircel GPRS, which is the APN, also generally called settings of internet, and this is available in Android. It is generally available in the network settings. I'll show you the screen where it shows cut, screen, insert, cut, back. Every time you put your new SIM into the handset, Aircel sends the settings, and which gets automatically saved, and you can access the internet. So the APN is generally automatically set, and the tickets are like buying the data pack. So to access the internet on the mobile, it has to be configured by the service provider. It has to be switched on the data has to be switched on the mobile. You should have an APN, and you should have bought an internet data pack. Now we'll discuss a little bit about what are the different data packs. Like when you buy the tickets, there are different class of travel. So normally the data packs are limited data packs and unlimited data packs. The difference between the limited data packs and unlimited data packs is that on a limited data pack, whatever is the quantity which has been given, suppose let's assume it is a 100 MB pack you have taken. After 100 MB of usage, your speed will not go down, but if you have the money in your main account, it will start using from the main account. So it is like a generator is available, electricity goes, the moment electricity goes, your generator starts working and you get the all equipments start working, but you have to pay for the generator diesel. So in this case, once your data pack is consumed, your main account balance starts charging, gets charged for the data. On an unlimited pack, if you are given, so it is actually a fair usage policy. So unlimited data, there are two components, high speed and plus low speed. So if you have taken a data, there will always be a high speed quota in this, and the high speed quota, suppose you have taken a 500 MB pack. After 500 MB, it will start work. For this 500 MB, it will work maybe up to 10 Mbps, but post this, it will work at about 128 kbps and it will keep on going. But you will not be charged from the main account. So it is as if light has gone and then your inverter is working. So inverter, there are certain equipments which will work, but your AC will not work, your major equipment. So the speed is slow, but your main account is not being charged. These two different packs are available for different people. Generally, an unlimited pack is used by the user who uses the same number for data and voice, and he does not want his voice amount to be used in data. Limited pack, where the people have got certain usage for a particular work, they get this activated, and beyond that they will use some other services. Once you have the data which is both limited or unlimited, in unlimited data you have high speed quota. To know the balance, one should know how to check this balance. To check the balance, you can use the USSD code, and there are two different codes for limited pack and for unlimited pack. So for limited pack, you have star. All your USSD codes will always start with star, 1, 2, 9 and hash. So anything which you dial on a handset starting with star and ending with hash will be a USSD code. For an unlimited pack, you have star, 1, 2, 2, star, 0, 1, 1 hash. You dial this code. In both the codes, whatever balance you have available in your handset, that will get displayed on the screen. Apart from this, while you are using either the limited or unlimited packs, operator also sends In our case, it will be Aircel also sends the SMS to the customer at 60%, then 80%, and then 100% consumption of the data. This all goes on consumption. With this, we have covered the internet access, what all is required to have the internet, what all is required to connect to the internet, and how we can check our data which is working. In our next module, we'll talk about how to handle the queries or if the data is not working. So we'll talk about cut. In this module, we have talked about how does the mobile internet gets connected. In the next module, we'll talk about troubleshooting of the internet data on mobile handsets.